Okay, so we'll discuss about conditional statements now. So let me create one example. So first of all, I'm going to create a new Java class, Java project. First of all, condition example. Fine, the project is created. I'm going to create a new class. Okay, home.example dot conditions, and I can have condition test one. Fine. Now I have the class condition test one. So let me give you, like, there are different ways to handle conditions in Java. Okay, so we're going to list them all. So this is a multi-line comment, as you can remember. So the first and the simplest way is using if-else statements. Okay, this is the one. If-else statements. There is one more thing which is called switch case. Switch case statements. Also, we can use conditional operators. So these are the three ways how we can achieve a conditional uh, code in Java. How do we basically flow our control to be executed, to execute a specific block of code and skip the other part of the code. So we can do that. Say for example, I am having a main method, and in that main method I'm having certain logic. Okay, int age equals to some value, say for example 17. Okay, sys out you are minor, unadvised to watch the movie. So it's just a message. So if now the value of integer age is 17, and that's the reason I'm saying you're minor, you are unadvised to watch the movie. That's it. But when the value changes from 17 to 19, what I need to say, you are not a minor, you can go ahead and watch the movie. So now the thing is that we're in a problem, we're in a dilemma, like how to do that, how to achieve that thing. So to do that, I can have a different method. Say for example, um, private void, okay, display, okay, display message, and I can pass the value integer age. So this method's responsibility is to display a message based on the age of the person who is calling this method. So what I'm going to do, that this message part is going to be moved into this class. Okay, and I'm going to have certain logic which is going to tell if you are a minor or you can watch the movie. So these are two different methods, but I want to display this method when the age is greater than 18 or greater than equal to 18, and when the age is below 18 I want to display this message. To do that, I'm going to achieve this thing using if else statements. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically call that method from the main method using like display message. Okay, this method is a private method. Okay, but this is not static. The use of static we'll discuss in a separate class. Okay, in further classes, but for time being, if you want to access some private field, or say for example a private variable or a private method of a class, what we need to do, we need to create the object of that class. So the class name is condition test one. So I'm going to create one object of condition test one. Test equal to new condition test one using the default constructor. Now I created the object. I'm going to call the method test dot display message, and I'm going to pass 19. I can directly pass, or I can have another variable which is going to pass. So when I call this method 19, I'm expecting this method to display you can watch the movie. and when I'm going to pass the value as 16, it should display as this is you are a minor, you are unadvised to watch the movie. So how the Java if statement, if else statement are going to help us, that we are going to see right now. If, this is very simple, we'll write simply if and true brackets and the curly braces. So this is the body. If, and over here we are going to write a statement. So a statement in Java, any statement we cannot put over here, we need to put a boolean statement. So a statement which will return a true or false. See, if true, this is a boolean value, like we have integer x equal to 10, we can have a boolean value. Boolean is a type in Java. So here we are going to have a boolean value. So what that boolean condition or boolean condition is going to be. So if age is greater than or equals to 18, this is the condition. Age is some value, integer value, and here we have another integer value. So we are comparing them using this comparing operator, greater than equals to operator. So it says that if age value that we have passed, it is 16, at runtime if it is 16 is greater than equal to 18, no, it's not. So it's not going to execute this body. We can have else body. Okay. So when if this condition is satisfied, if it returns true, then this body is executed. If it returns false, this is going to be executed. So if somebody is less than 18, we are going to show the message, you are a minor, you are not advised to watch the movie. Similarly, if the age is greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18, we can display you can watch the movie. Now the condition is very simple, and what we need to do is we need to derive this conditional statement. We need to derive this boolean statement which is going to help us build our logic. So it is simple. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass 16 over here, and the 16 will be copied into age. Now it will be at runtime, it will be 16 greater than equal to 18. No, it's not. So it is going to go to the else part, and it's going to print 16 is greater than, okay, I'm making something wrong. If age is greater than equal to 18, we should display you can watch the movie. If age is less than 18, then we should display you are a minor, you are unadvised to watch the movie. Now I'm passing 16 over here, and over here it will be 16 greater than equal to 18, it's a false. Right? 16 is never greater than 18. Right? So it is going to skip this body, if body, it is going to go to the else body, and it's going to print this part. So let's do one thing, let's run the code and see the behavior. Right click, run as Java application, and it's very simple. It's saying you are minor, unadvised to watch the movie. Perfect. Now we're going to change the value. We're going to make it 46. It's far greater than 18. So 46 greater than equal to 18. It's true. So it's going to execute this body. It's never going to execute this part. So if we run the code, right click, run as Java application, it's going to give us the problem. You can watch the movie. If it is 18, at that point of time also, it is giving me 18 is greater than equal to 18. That is true. So it should show me you can watch the movie. Run as Java application. Perfect. So it is very simple. Now we're going to build another logic based on this if else. Suppose we don't want to check just for one range, if it is greater than or equal to 18 or not. So we can have a scenario in which we are going to say if you are within the age of 10 to 20, then we should display one message. If you are within the age of 20 to 40, then we should display another message. If it is greater than 40, we are going to display a different message. So we can have multiple such cases. So at that point of time, we can have multiple such if else conditions. So what I'm going to write, what I'm going to display right now is, suppose about the job. So you can do a job, you can do the, okay, let's display message for movie. Okay, I'm creating another method. This method is already there. Okay, fine. I'm going to create another method, private display message for job. I can take an integer age over here, and I'm going to check if the age is less than 20. Okay, if the person is less than 20 years of age, you are not allowed to do the job. You are not allowed to do the job. Fine. And I am going to write another if statement. If the age is less than 50, you can do the job. At the end, I'm going to have another part which is saying the age is greater than 50, you are senior, please take rest. So now I have three different blocks for to build our logic. So this method is returning nothing, so I am going to write public private void. Okay, and the problem is when we pass the integer age value, it's going to go line by line, right? So first of all, it's going to check a condition. Age is some value, say for example 10 less than 20. Yeah, it's right. So it's going to execute this body, right? So this body will have, it will print you are a minor, you're not allowed to do the job. Then it will go to this location. It's going to check if 10 is less than 50. Again, it's going to print this message. So it is going to create some problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an else if situation. Okay, when this condition is satisfied, it's going to execute this body, and it's never going to execute anything else. So else if says if any one of these blocks are getting executed, rest of the blocks are going to be skipped. Okay, so now I am going to pass some value to age. I'm going to call this method display message for job, and I can comment this part test dot display message for job, and I'm going to pass 26. So let's run this code and see what output it is going to give. It says you are in age limit. Okay, so you can do the job. Age is 26 less than 20, it's false, so this part is not executed. Then it will check. If it is not executed, then only it will check the else if. 26 less than 50, yes, it is fine, so it will execute this line. And once this line is executed, it will never execute any subsequent lines in the else if block. Okay, we can put multiple conditions as well. If age is greater than 20 and age is less than 50. So let me write that one. Age is greater than 20 and age is less than 50. Then only you are going to be allowed. Age is greater than 50. Fine. So seems like it's a very simple example. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask me. It's very similar to C++ code as well. If else condition, nothing changed. Seems like there is no issue. Should I move forward?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So the same thing that we have done over here, it can be done using a switch case as well. So we can have a switch case statement to help us do the same thing. So let me write a new method, display message for job using switch. So I'm going to get integer age. Now I'm not going to have this type of code. I'm going to have a different type of code. I can write switch, and within that, over here, this is basically the syntax of a switch case. It's very similar to if, else if ladder. So what I'm going to write over here, I'm going to pass a parameter, the age parameter. So if I want to do something, if the age is 20, so I'm going to write age, or sorry, case 20. Then what I'm going to write, or case, over here it's not allowed to write greater than 20. Okay, we cannot write those operators. So what I'm going to write, if the age is specifically 20, then I can have a message sys out. But you are allowed is just for age 20. That's going to create a problem. Let's take another example. Okay, display month and int month value. So if somebody is going to pass me 1, I'm going to display January. If somebody passes 2, I'm going to display February, and so on. Okay, so how am I going to achieve this? So the person is going to, the caller is going to call this display month method using an integer value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the month value in the switch case parameter. If the month value is 1, then I'm going to display.
I mean, that should be break, right?
Yes, that will be break. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Is January. Okay, and after executing the statements that I want, if I have multiple statements, I'll write them. If I want to display something else, I'll write that. But after that, if I want to break this switch case, I don't want to go anywhere else, I should write this break statement. So now case 1 is complete. Similarly, I can have case 2. You cannot have two cases at the same with the same value. If it is case 2, I can write it's going to be February For case 3, I'll have March, and so on. If somebody is passing, okay, let me do all these values. 3, 9, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4. Okay. I think January. Okay, I have missed certain things. I need to add 3 more values. This is 3, this is 2, this is 1. If it is 1, it's going to be January. If it's 2, it's February. For 3, it's March. For 4, it's going to be April, May, June, July, USD, September, October, for 12 it's going to be December. Okay, now the method is ready for 1 to 12 values. But if somebody is giving 0, somebody is giving -2, somebody is giving 100, that's not a month, right? So to handle that scenario, we can call default. Okay, if we get default, and this line is going to be executed. If something else is coming up, I'm going to say wrong month value. So if you want to go through the code, you can go like this. Okay, now I'm going to call the display method. You can see the month value needs to be passed. It needs to be an integer value with the range 1 to 12. If you give any other range, it's going to come to this default one, and it's going to print wrong month value. So how do I call this method? I'm going to comment this one, test dot display month, and I'm going to pass some value. I passed 4, so it should print April. Right click, run as Java application. It says April. If I pass 8, it should say August. Fine. If I give some different values, say for example 68, it's not within the range, so it's going to go to the default section, and it's going to say wrong month value. Even if I give some negative value, because integer negative is also possible, so if I give a negative value, it's going to say a wrong month value. If I give negative 6 or negative 8, it's not going to print August, it should print the wrong month value. Understood? So switch case is also understood by all of you. Any doubt in switch case? I'll go to that code.
Why you are using break?
Yeah, break is something, let me tell you the flow. Once we reach this method, I am having this month's value. Say for example, the month value is 6. Okay. So first of all, what switch case is going to do, it's going to come over here. The month value is 6, but it doesn't go directly to 6. What it does, it goes to case 1. It checks, is the month value equal to case 1? No. So it's not going to enter this body. Is the month value 2? No. Is the month value 3, 4? All these things are skipped. Once it reaches 6, it will start executing. It will start executing this statement. Okay. If we don't have this break, it's fine. It will check if the month value is 6, it's going to print June. That's fine. But it will again start comparing the value 7, 8, 9, because we have never let the loop break. If we have certain logic in which we don't want the loop to be broken, we don't want the switch case to be broken, we can have this standard. We can skip the break part. But as we want, like as our use case is saying that once, like for a single integer value, if it is 6 or 7 or 8, there is only one month. So once the month is printed, we don't want to check anything else, right? So that's the reason we put break statement, but it's not mandatory. You can see if I remove this, it's not going to give any error. But there is extra like memory or extra processing which is used to compare with other values as well. Clear? Anything else? So the default, you understood how the default works. If nothing works, like it has gone through all the values 1, 2, 3, 4 and all the way till bottom. If it has not found anything else, it's going to go to the default section. So any doubt till now?
If default is not there, what should be the result it will return?
It will return nothing because it's not going to go into any of these bodies. 7 is not executed, 8 is not executed, nothing is executed, so it's not going to give any output. We can comment these two part, not going to give no error, and we have an invalid value -8. So if we run the code, it's never going to give you any output. See, there is no output. The console is not displayed at all. If you look at the console, nothing is displayed. It's terminated, but no output.
So it should throw an error or what?
No, it should never throw an error. It should never throw an error. So that's the reason we need to handle it with the help of default. We need to say the user that you have entered something wrong.
Okay.
Okay, clear? So we'll move to the next part of conditional statements, which is called as conditional operators. So we're going to see how these conditional operators basically work. I'm going to write the example over here. Private void. We're going to do the same thing. Display message for movie.
Here we can write public.
we can write public, it's not an issue. Basically the Java, so when we'll talk about oops, we'll get to know that the things which belong to a specific class, which are not advisable to be available outside, we should make them private. As I am working within the same class, condition test 1, so it is better to make them private so that these classes are not visible from outside. Tomorrow when it is needed that you want to call these methods from a different class, you can make them public. It's not an issue. So I'm going to copy this part. This is how it used to work. Now I'm going to change it into a different way. So if age is greater than equal to 18, it's printing you can watch the movie. So you can see there are lots of code which are verbose, which are repeated again and again. This bracket, okay, these two brackets, okay, and over here I have written else and all. So if you want to minimize the code, we can have a different way which Java has given us, that says the conditional operators. If it's a single line statement or just a single condition that we are checking, is greater than or less than, that's a single condition. If we are checking that, we can go for the conditional operator where we can write like this: is greater than equal to 18. So this is the statement, and if it is true, then question mark, what is going to happen? Okay, if this condition is executed, then this body is executed, right? So if I want to do that, so if this condition is executed, this body can be written after the question mark. This is the body, this is the question mark. So this is the statement, conditional statement. If it is true, then something which is after this question mark is going to be executed. If it is false, then we are going to write something else. But this conditional operator, it has its own rules as well. This conditional operator, it should always return some value. Okay, so when we execute this conditional operator, it is going to return some value. So what I can do, I can have a string message equals to. So I'm going to execute this condition. If this condition is successful, if this condition is like executed properly, if the condition is true, then I'm going to return this string value. So the message will become, you can watch the movie when the condition says age is greater than equal to 18. Else, when the condition is false, I can write a colon and I can give the second part. So if you want to make it even more clear, we can have two brackets. So this bracket says that when this condition is successful, execute this question mark part, and when it is failure, execute this colon part. So now I have the message. If I want to print that message, I can use sysout message. So this is going to act the same way like the old previous method was working. So I'm going to call this method using test dot method name, and I'm going to pass some. So if I run this, you can watch the movie. If I make it some 17 or some value, it's going to say that you cannot watch the movie. Okay, 17. Okay, what is wrong? I have not run the code. Right click, run as a. Okay, there is some error in the code. Let's find it out. Message equal to age greater than equal to 18.
Message both are same.
Both are same, right? Yes, both are same. Good. Fine, now it's okay. So let's run this code. Right click, run as Java application. You're minor unadvisable to watch the movie. If you want to make it some greater value,
it's 11 o'clock.
It's going to, you can watch the movie. Understood the concept? And again, this conditional operator can be nested like the if else. This is the block, if else block, right? So within this block, I can write another if else if I want. Say for example, if I want, I can write is equals to equal to 18. So this operator is called the equals operator. This is the greater than equal to operator. If age is greater than equal to 18, then do this. and while it is doing this, it just wants to check if he's actually just now if he's having the age 18. So it's going to print welcome, you just turned 18. So within if, this is the body of if condition, success condition. Within that body, we can write another if condition. This is what we call nested if. Within this body, again, we can write another if condition. Understood? So based on our logic, I can write anything I want, and it's syntactically correct. So similarly, if age is greater than or equal to 18, I am executing this part, right? I can have another body over here as well. I can have another nested body over here. This is called nested conditional statements. I can write age equals to 18, then print welcome to 18, else I'm going to write you can watch the movie. Watch movie and welcome to 18. Now you understood how I have done this. This is the first statement which is executed if it is true, then execute which is coming after question mark, but before colon. So it will go to question mark and will try to execute this part. Okay. But within this part, when it is executing, it found another conditional statement which says if age is equal to 18, then do this, else do that. And once it is executed, it will execute the conditional statement. So now let's execute the code. First we need to save the code. Right click, run as Java application. The value is 78. It's when value is 78, first this is executed. 78 greater than or equal to 18. Yes, it is true. Then this part is going to be executed. Okay. Within that, it found another condition. 78 equals to 18. No, it's not. So it is going to execute the second part. But when we pass 18, it's going to give us a different output. See, watch movie and welcome to 18. So 18 greater than or equal to 18, it is true. It will go to this point, and within this part, it has again found 18 equals to 18. Yes, it is true. So it is going to print this one. So nested conditional statements, nested if else. Within if we can put another like conditional statement, we can put another switch case. So whatever you want to put within wherever you want, like any block, until the block is complete. See, this is the block. The block has started from here, and this is completing. Within that, whatever statement you write, if it is syntactically correct, it's going to work. You can put a switch condition also. Okay, any doubt in this part?
Uh, One question: greater than equal to and equal to both are same or different? Means greater than equal means it is 18 also.
This
That is equal.
statement is going to evaluate to true if the value is 18, 19, 20 onwards, any value greater than that,
Correct.
and this is going
So,
to execute if the value is just 18.
yes. So whenever we are entering 18,
Okay.
so why it is giving a second message?
Okay. You're confused. See, this method is this one. I'm calling this
Yes.
method. Okay. Not the other one. This method is not called. So if I want, I can call this method as well. It's going to give the proper output as you want. Run as Java application. Now you understood?
No, again, just
Okay. So I'm calling the method display message for movie, and this is the method. Okay. When I pass 18, it will come over here. 18 greater than or equal to 18, it is true. So this method body is going to be executed. It will first print you can watch the movie. So you can see this first thing is printed. Then it is checking again age equal to 18. Okay. So 18 is equals to 18. That is true. So when this condition says true, it is going to execute this body. If you pass any other value other than 18, 28, 28 will come here. 28 greater than or equal to 18, that is true. This statement will be printed. But 28, is it equal to 18? No, it's not. So it's not going to be executed. It is going to be skipped. Understood? So I'm going to run this class again. Run as Java application. You can see only one value. You can watch the movie. Or still you have any doubt? This double equals operator. Double equals operator is different than equals operator. Equals operator is for assignment. Whatever value is on the right hand side will be assigned to the left hand side. As we have created with the integer age equals to 10. That means age, the reference age will get 10 value. But when you have double equals, it is going to compare the two values on both the sides. Okay, it's a Boolean operator. Double equals is a Boolean operator. It's going to evaluate these two values. It's going to tell you true or false. So if these two values are equal, this is 18 hard-coded value, this value is a variable. It can be 18, 20, 19, 100, anything. So at runtime, if these two values are equal, it's going to return true. And if true, it is going to execute this body. If false, it is not going to execute anything. Double equals is for just comparing two boolean
Comparing and equal to equal means
sorry,
equal to double equal to means checking the value.
Right, double equals to means it is going to compare the values on both sides. Equals means copying the value from right hand side to the left hand side.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else having any doubt?
Sir, ये nested condition.
Nested condition. This one?
That is string, yeah, private void display message for movie using operators.
This one. Okay. Okay. What is the doubt? What you couldn't understand?
Sir, if we passed any integer value that is 70, 80, 60, anything, then there are two conditions. That is, age is greater than or equal to 18, and then age is equal to 18. Okay. So if we are going to passing that value, it is going to check this both condition or particular one.
Okay. First tell me what is this one. This is a conditional statement. Okay.
Yes.
If this statement is evaluating to true, that is if you are passing 28 as the age, if 28 is greater than or equal to 18, if that is true, then it is going to execute the body which is after the question mark. So if you copy from here to here, it is executing, it is going to evaluate this part. Okay. If the age is greater than or equal to 18. If it is not, it will directly come to the next part. Over here, it is a question, a colon mark. Okay. After colon, it is going to execute this part.
You are mirror, that is, sir.
Yes, you are minor, you are not not advised. So similarly, if the age is greater than or equal to 18, say for example you have passed 28, 28 is greater than or equal to 18, that is true. Now it is going to execute this part, but again this part is containing another conditional statement. So this part will be executed only when the value is greater than or equal to 18. So now 28 equals to 18, is it true? No. 28 is not equal to 18. So it is not going to execute this part. It is going to execute its corresponding else part. So this is basically, this stands for else. This stands for if it is true. This stands for true. All the thing which is over after this are going to be executed. Otherwise, else is a false part. The question mark is for the else part. You can give it a try. Okay. And you can give some different values, you can put some different logic over there, and you're going to get the meaning of this.
Okay, sir. So this is the basically conditional statement, sir.
Yeah, this is going to be used everywhere in Java. All the part you're going to use if else, you're going to use, very rarely you're going to use switch case, but if, else if, nested if, okay, else, all these things you're going to check you're going to see everywhere. Certain parts you can use conditional operator, but it's not good to use that. It brings confusion. That's the reason why we don't write any conditional statements.
Okay.
Anyone else having any problem, any doubt in this part? Okay, seems like we can skip. We can go to the next part. Okay, in the next part we'll discuss about loops.